Hi, I'm John Flynn, and I wanted to talk about branding, obviously, today, and talk about being a forerunner in events and event choosing. So, obviously, the big prize with comedians is the Netflix comedy special. And I think that the Netflix comedy special is definitely on the way down from its once hailed position as the king of showcases. And part of the reason is the dilution of the pool of comedy specials. You have Hulu now in the game, and you have YouTube now in the game, which we'll talk about later. I love the YouTube setup and the cost. So let's go over the cost real quick of a Netflix special. So Netflix calls in on the phone and goes, ring, we want to do a comedy special with you. And you're like, great. So let's say you're an average comedian. So what's the breakout here? So they give you $200,000 in a 2-year licensing agreement. Okay, so that's off. So half of that goes to taxes. Now you got $100,000. 10% to your manager, 10% to your agent. So that's $40,000 right there. So out of the 100, that's 60. Then it's $80,000 for production costs to go in the theater and put the lights on and all the mics and everything. So now you're down minus 20. Then you got to find a venue and then fill it up, which is going to cost you another 50. So you're down 70. And then other ticky tack stuff. So you could easily go down to $70,000, $80,000. Now, if you're a touring comedian who fills up $10,000 arenas, you could fit this in your schedule and absorb some of the cost because you just do it, where you're going. So if you're in the Wilbur Theater here in Boston, and you're going to the Wilbur, you could set it up and save yourself some money. But the best you can do is, you're gonna lose money, a lot of money, if you're just a club guy, or you're going to lose a little money if you're a touring guy who does 10,000 seaters. So that's the deal with that. Now, if you're in the top 10 for a couple of weeks with your special, then Netflix kicks you some money. So, you might be doing with that, but, that's hard to predict. So, what's the alternatives? Well, I love YouTube. So, you go to YouTube, and obviously, that YouTube's are going to pay you anything, but you do get paid by YouTube in a sense of views and people signing up for your page. So, subscribers. So, you get that. Two, when you do the premiere of your special, what you're going to do is that you're going to um, have a streaming, so it's going to charge people $5 to watch your event on the streaming. Then a week later, they can watch it for free. So you're going to get money from the streaming. So that's good. Now you're going to have to pick an arena or club to do this in. You can do a club and pay for the production to put it in. I don't know how much this costs. Let's call it 50,000. Just a real high number. Okay, so and then filling the club isn't a big deal because it just be Saturday night viewing and everybody's going to pack the club, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can probably make a deal with the club with the production, since it's going to be like oh, it's a viewing, it's a taping, so they're going to fill up really quick. So they'll probably absorb some of the costs, right? And you have merchandise there too, which I strongly recommend. So that'll take absorb some of the cost too. And then you have it, and it's yours, and that's key because now we could slice it into Instagram bits, TikTok bits, and have it play throughout time, and then here we are at the cellar, doing our bit on March 19th, and it was a great crowd, and here's some shots of what we did, and then put it on that way. And YouTube has a tremendous audience. It's the second highest search engine in the known universe next to Google. So you're gonna have no problem, having a pool of people to draw into. So in the sense of branding, yes, initially, having the Netflix and the da-da. But if you're looking for the future, which a good branding community does, you may want to try the YouTube route and see how that goes. It's less than a pocketbook, and you have more control over it, and I think it's just the way to go for the future. John Flynn.